অ্যান্ড্রয়েডের নতুন একটা প্রজেক্ট শুরু করার জন্য প্রথমে ফাইল, নিউ, দেন নিউ প্রজেক্ট। নিউ প্রজেক্টের মধ্যে আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি নো অ্যাক্টিভিটি, বেসিক অ্যাক্টিভিটি ম্যাটেরিয়াল। প্রথম দিকে যে অ্যাক্টিভিটিগুলো আছে আমরা সেগুলো নেব না, আমাদের বলছে ইএমটি অ্যাক্টিভিটি। কিন্তু ইএমটি অ্যাক্টিভিটি কম্পোজ রয়েছে, এটা অ্যাকচুয়ালি জেটপ্যাক কম্পোজ লাইব্রেরির জন্য। যেহেতু আমরা এক্সএমএল কাজ করতে যাচ্ছি, সো আমরা ইএমটি অ্যাক্টিভিটি চুজ করি। অন্যান্য অ্যাক্টিভিটি চুজ করলে কিছু বয়লার প্লেট কোড চলে আসে, যেগুলো আমরা শিখবো কীভাবে নিজে নিজে লিখতে হয়। বাকি অ্যাক্টিভিটিগুলো হয়তো পরে আমাদের হেল্পফুল হবে। তবে তো আমরা ইএমটি অ্যাক্টিভিটি নিয়ে নেক্সট ক্লিক করি। তারপর এখানে হচ্ছে আমাদের অ্যাপসের নাম দিতে হবে some apps. Here we are saying apps. In this folder, this project will be saved. Go on the package name, প্রথমে com, then example, then samples. Actually, company domain name হিসেবে আসে। তারপর যেহেতু আমরা জানি যে অ্যান্ড্রয়েড ডেভেলপমেন্ট সম্পূর্ণ কটলিনে চলে গেছে, কিন্তু প্রিভিয়াস অ্যান্ড্রয়েড স্টুডিও ভার্সনে আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি জাভা এবং কটলিন দুইটা চুজ করেরই ওয়ে আছে, কিন্তু নিউ ভার্সনে অ্যান্ড্রয়েড স্টুডিওর নিউ ভার্সনে আমরা শুধুমাত্র কটলিন দেখতে পাবো। দেন মিনিমাম এসডিকে 27, দ্যাটস অ্যান্ড্রয়েড 8.1 Oreo. Let me show you something. If I chose API 28 Android 9, then you will see that our apps by approximately 81% runnable. If we chose 8.1, then 78%. That's mean new version. There are less device that's with new version, but if you chose API 27, then Android 8.1 to Android 14, all devices already supported these apps. If you chose higher version, then maybe you chose 11, then Android 8.1 or Android 10 may not be run these apps. So now if you want, you can finish, and if you finish this, then it will start this project and load this for a while. After starting the new project, you will find there will be a app folder and Gradle script, and you can choose project type, package type, and Android type. But you will find that Android is most suitable to work with Android project. If you click here, you will see there will be manifest, Java related, resource, res means resource folder, and in the Gradle script you will find build Gradle, that's in project, and another build Gradle that's in module scope. Now let's see where is actually my cursor. If you go to the Java, here you will find main.activity, and we know that every Android project start with main activity. This is the activity that Android run first, and if we go to the Android XML, you will find that here is a reference that their activity, and here you see that name, Android name, main.activity. This means first when the apps run, this apps try to find this main.activity and will run this activity. That's mean main.activity is the first activity that an apps will run. But we know that for every activity in older Android, there needs an related resource file or layout file or XML file. Where you will get this? If you go to the res folder and this layout, you will see main.xml. That's our XML of this main.activity. Every main.activity is a Java file, and for every activity you need a layout file, because this is the UI of this apps. And main activity is the actual file of this Java file is the Java file is the actual running point of this apps. Okay, we have already shown you the file structure, that where the main.activity live and where the XML live. Now let's look at the main.activity.java. Here we are seeing this. There is a class name main.activity. It is extending a compact activity, and there is a and main activity is overriding an onCreate method. And here set content view r.layout.activity main. This line is very important. This means r means resource, then layout, then activity main. Yeah, you know the structure. This is our resource folder, this is our layout, and this is our activity.main. So actually in this onCreate method we are saying that our main activity will load this activity.main.xml resource folder in this line. Now let's look at the activity.main XML. This is the XML. Here we are using a linear layout. Okay, this is an XML file, and it starts with a linear layout, and there is a text view. Under this linear layout there is a text view. If we want to use if you want to show the visual representation of this XML, you will find this here. Now let's zoom. Okay, that's enough. This is our linear layout. Whole page is linear layout, and inside this linear layout there is a text view. These are all of the view, and in the text view we are seeing a text main.activity. And if you zoom this a little bit, you will find this text main activity. So now that's fine. We understand main activity, main XML. Now we will start, and now we will start our next thing. We will go to our next topic, that is how we can create a fragment. Fragment is also actually a reusable component. It has an XML file and also a Java file, but it cannot run without an activity. Fragment should be an activity. So if we want to create an activity, then we will now create this fragment manually to show you what's the convention of activity, how this activity actually be. Then we will generate activity from our Android Studio automatically. Now let's see, if we want to start an activity fragment, then first we have to create a Java file. New Java class. The convention of Java class, that's camel case. Every word should be capital word. So let's say our new activity is being blank, our fragment name is blank, then the actual convention of writing fragment is you have to add fragment word last blank fragment. If you see our activity name convention, you will find the name of our file is main, and the type of our file is activity. So this is the convention, the main activity. So if you create this class, now this is class, and as this is a fragment class, it should be extends fragment. Okay, this is our. Now let's write the constructor here. This is the constructor. So in the constructor you have to pass the related layout file. So that should be resource.layout, but we don't have any layout for this plain fragment. So first let's create a layout for that. Now resource, and that resource file, this naming convention should be first word would be fragment, because we have already seen this in XML convention. First you have to define activity or fragment, then an underscore, then the name of the file. Though as our activity name is blank, so it would be fragment.blank, file would be fragment.blank. And we know that Android have several types of resource. There is a drawable, layout, values, XML. So as our resource is layout type, we have to select layout. Here resource type is layout, and the root element I will show you in the XML code, but let's just change this to the, here we show that constraint layout. That's mean our whole XML's road would be a constraint layout. Before we see that, our main.activities road was linear layout, but you have to remember that in fragment the root layout should be frame layout. So you can just take in that's the frame layout. In every fragment root element should be frame layout. That's the convention. As we have selected all of the thing, now let's okay. Now you will see that fragment underscore blank.xml is created, and here this is our root node fragment layout. We have told in the resource file inside this frame layout. Now let's add a view. That should be text view. And text view. Now let's add a text view here. This is our text view. We have layout what is set wrap content, layout height, set wrap content. This means the text or the content of this text view into what it be. That's just will cover its height and width, and in the text that will be blank fragment. If you want to see the layout, you can use this code editor. It is only the code of the XML, and if you split this, then there will be a code and a view. Here we are seeing that this is our text view. Even you can use design tab. In this design tab you can manually design, add button, drag and drop. Just like if you want a button, just drag and drop the button here, it will be added here. This how you can add button here. We just remove this because we don't want this button. So this is our fragment. In the fragment we have added a text view. Now we have already seen that our blank fragment folder showing error. There's a red line under this blank fragment. We have already told that because we have not added any layout folder in this blank fragment. The constructor of this blank fragment, in so far we should pass the layout of this blank fragment. As we have already created this layout for this blank fragment, now we can add this fragment here. That says r.layout dot. Here we have seen main.activity and also the fragment.blank. So here we will pass this fragment.blank. Now it's not complaining anymore. So this is our fragment code and this is our fragment XML. Now there's another thing you have to consider, that we already told that the Android project will just load the activity.main first, but we don't have done any connection with this main.activity. The fragment are not in the main.activity. So if as we don't have added this in this main.activity, so it won't be shown in the screen or in the apps. So how we can add this fragment in our main.activity, where in our activity.main.xml we want to add our blank fragment in this main.activity. There are several ways to add an fragment in activity. We will show now adding by XML. Here we have added and fragment container view and we gave it an ID, fragment container view, and this layout height, that's a fragment container. Now if we add Android name and gives the package name of our blank.fragment class, let's say com example tutorial test and blank test. This is our domain name. When we have created this project, we have seen this, and this is our blank fragment Java class. We are saying that in this fragment container view there will be a blank, this blank fragment will be putted here. So that's very clear that in this fragment view we have added this blank fragment. If you want to show this, here's a code. Let's jump this. This is our main activity, but fragment is not showing here, but when we will divide this we will see. As I have already run this apps here in my device, I am seeing this main activity, and in the next line I have seen that blank fragment. This line is coming from our fragment XML. So now we already added this in our XML file, but as we already know that fragments, the main reason of using fragment is that so that you can change this place to replace with other fragment. So if we just set this fragment in XML, we need to change this XML from our code. So how we can programmatically add a fragment in our fragment layout. In this fragment container view, how we can programmatically add an fragment. Now let's see this. To add programmatically an fragment, we just have to remove this name property from here. So now there is no connection with blank fragment and our main activity. So now how we can connect this two? To connect this two, we need to go to our main.activity, and after this set content view I have to write this code. Here we are calling this get support fragment manager, as we are adding fragment in our layout. So we need a fragment manager that will make transaction so that our fragment will change. First of all, get support fragment manager, and we started the transaction, and in the transaction there are two operations. First of all, we are saying set recording alert to true, and we are saying add resource ID fragment container view. This actually, I will show you what is this. Our fragment container view has ID fragment container view. We know that in every view we add an ID so that we can work with Java folder, because in a Java folder we can select this element by this ID. So in this main.activity we are saying fragment container view ID. What is this view? And how's the view that have this ID? You just have to add a blank fragment in this container. In this container you have to add this blank fragment class. So we are just saying that this blank fragment would be in this container code. And lastly, we have committed this code. Now this also should add our code. So now let's restart. Let's see what's happened. You have to go here and there. Our Gradle is running. It takes some of the time. Then maybe it will start the project. Gradle's build is still running. Okay, our apps is rerunning. So now our output is the same, because first we added this blank fragment in the XML, then we have removed, and now we have added this from our Java code. So now next we will see how we can change fragment by one click. How we can change fragment? So we are trying to change the fragment doing on click, or so we need a button for that. So as we have seen that in our main activity there is a text view saying main activity, and there is a fragment container view. In this container we want to show our fragment, and we have already seen that black fragment is showing in this container. Now we want to add a button, and in this button one click we want to change this fragment. So let's just add a button. Okay, this is a button. Button should be with the text. This text. Here we are adding a button. In this button the text is next, and under layout we are seeing the sub content, and under layout height also saying where content, and one click, under one click, that's saying change fragment. So what we have done, we have added a button in our main fragment. If we zoom out this a little bit, what is our button? So as we added a button here, and in this button we have added on click change fragment. So we have only one fragment if we want to change to another fragment, so now we will need another fragment. So as I have told you earlier that we have created our first fragment manually. Manually means we have created this Java file, also this XML file separately. Now I will show you a simple trick that how you can create your fragment easily. Now that's this new right Q in a project folder, then new to this fragment, then you can choose blank fragment. You just have to name this fragment, that we can say this is our new fragment. Or service. Okay, so we have created our new fragment here. As if you can see, our fragment is created. This is our main fragment of Java, and if you see in this layout, you will see that fragment new XML is here. This is our fragment new XML. We want to change this string. We can change the string to hello from new fragment. Okay, this is our text view in our new fragment. So we want, if we go to the XML main file, in this button, if we click in the change fragment, it should change this fragment here. First of all, there would be our blank fragment, and on click it will change to our new fragment. So if we go to this change fragment class, this class was not written. I have written this. In this change fragment, we are saying that first of all get our fragment manager, begin the transaction, and the set recording alert should be true to change this transaction in our manager, and we are saying replacing this fragment container view with this new fragment class. Then we are commenting. First of all, when this main activity will be built, then we are saying add this blank fragment in this fragment container, and in on click we are saying just replace this container views fragment with this new fragment. So this is somewhat our changing code of our fragment. Now we will see this. Now let's rerun our project. As we are rerunning our project, start behaving. When we have run this our apps, we are seeing that this main activity coming from our main activity, and this blank fragment is coming from our blank fragment, and we have added this next button here. If we click here, we should see a change in this fragment. Okay, let's click. Yeah, we have clicked, and this hello from new fragment, this fragment gets changed. So this all about fragment and fragment changing. Next I will show the Firebase integration in the steps. Thank you everyone for this long video.